and welcome to Wembley Stadium. This is the setting where 2 years ago, England became European champions. They are back here today where the Lionesses start their Euro 2025 qualifying campaign and they welcome Sweden, and they are ready and raring to go.
Well, away we go. That's not a bad ball. Stanley with it back bring in the back door.
Despite a strong history in the women's game, Sweden struggled in the Nations League, finishing third behind Spain and Italy, and were forced into a playoff to stay in League A, which they won comfortably against Bosnia and Herzegovina. 10 of the current squad play in the WSL, so there are plenty of familiar faces on show today, and they are good as well. Now, France and the Republic of Ireland, they make up their qualifying group, and they play each other tonight in Metz. This new-look qualifying campaign sees teams from the top tier in Europe competing against each other, and we should have some really competitive games to look forward to. Can't wait for it. Hello, welcome along to Wembley Stadium. I'm joined by Ian Wright and Karen Carney. Before we get the all-important team news, there is one thing I have to say. Ian Wright, congratulations. SJA Pundit of the Year. You didn't think we'd forget, did you? Well done.
Well done, Righty.
Never in doubt.
I'm as good as a team around you.
Well, speaking of the team, that brings me on quite nicely because we all, as a team, also won an SJA for the best live event for the Women's World Cup final. So congratulations to you guys as well and everybody that works behind the cameras. Really, really successful night for us at the SJAs. So that's our little bit of patting on the back. There we go. Now we're going to go and get the team news. So let's have a little look at how Serena is lining up tonight. It's actually a really strong team. We're all quite impressed with this one. I'll get the thoughts of the guys in a second. One change from Italy for England. Lauren James comes in for Chloe Kelly. She'll be playing on the left, Hemp on the right, and then Russo in the middle there. Lotte Wubben-Moy, she partners Greenwood in defence. And Kira Walsh, she is captaining the side today. Now let's have a look at Sweden. There are 4 WSL players in Sweden's team, including Arsenal striker Stina Blackstenius. She scored the winner against Chelsea in the Conti Cup. There's also Barcelona's Fridolina Rolfö. She's a Champions League winner. A former Chelsea captain in there as well, won the double last year, Magda Eriksson. So lots of dangers in that team for Serena and England to look out for. But before we get on to Sweden, let's talk about England. So what do we make of that, Karen? Do we like the team?
Look, she's got to pick her strongest team. We are European champions and we need to retain this title back in Switzerland in 2025. So she's got to go with her strongest team. Probably Grace Clinton was the one I was a bit unsure about because she's still so young, but she's earned her position tonight. But it's her strongest team for me that she's picked, and rightly so, because this is a tough game.
A third start for Grace Clinton, Karen. So what can she do tonight to prove that she is a regular, becomes a regular?
She's got to be calm. You know, this is a big game, like I just mentioned. This is against a top team, Sweden. She's just got to go and impose herself. She's around Kira Walsh, she's around Georgia Stanway, who are experienced players. Just get the first pass. You know, build yourself into the game, but she's a quality player, lots of energy, good 1v1, powerful runner with the ball. She's just got to enjoy it.
Righty, happy to see Lotte Wubben-Moy in there?
Absolutely, yeah. I think she deserves it. She's been, for me, Arsenal's player of the season. She's dealt with all the strikers that she's come up against this season. You know, she's a great player, both boxes. She's been very patient for her time under Serena. And I'm really pleased to see her get this chance. She's waited and now, you know, it's up to her to go ahead now because she has been magnificent for Arsenal.
One person she knows really well is Stina Blackstenius too, because they're teammates. And she's going to be one of the dangers she's going to have to look out for tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, she knows the forwards. She's a very dangerous player. She can running in behind. You know, she's got a lot of energy. She's getting a lot more goals now, scoring a lot more important goals. This one we're seeing was against Chelsea in the final. You know, she scored a hat-trick in the semi-final. We saw her score a goal against City as well, scoring big goals. This will be an interesting game for her because she does know Lotte. Lotte knows her. We'll see how that one works out between them.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think, for me, she's the player I really rate at Arsenal. Like I said, that runs in behind. So I think it's Lotte Wubben-Moy has a You know, that experience of playing against her, like you just said. But I think Stina Blackstenius is going to run in behind all day, run, try and stretch England and make Kira Walsh run as well. You know, and Kosa Asllani, who plays in there, very experienced player that will play alongside her in that kind of number 10 position. But look, Sweden are a top team, so we have to be at our best tonight. And what we noticed in the Nations League is that there's no room for error.
Yeah.
So we have to start really bright, aggressive. And like I said, we are the holders of this competition, so we have to impose ourselves really early in this game.
Rolfo is always in there as well, and she's a Champions League winner, another danger in their right team.
Well, yeah, she's not on comeback from injury. I think she's got 3 goals from left back at Barcelona. She'll obviously play a lot further forward because she's a fantastic player. You know, for Barcelona, she's playing left back. Obviously, for Sweden, she'll play further forward, and she's dangerous. I know that she might not be up to her full speed yet. You know, the same with Asllani as well. There's a few that they're coming back from injury where you have to see how they're going to go, but they will be dangerous, and we have to watch them, especially Asllani. She's a very busy player as well.
Yeah. Let me show you these training tops again. You might have noticed this. They're really beautiful tonight. They're a special training top because the FA have created a set of British Sign Language training tops. You can see there the signs on the back of their shirt, BSL fingers to say and spell out each of the players' names, and they're going to be using those in warm-ups. They're actually going to auction those off for charity as well, so it's all for a really, really brilliant cause. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, well, last week, one legend of the women's game announced she will retire from football at the end of the season. Former England captain and a Manchester City club captain, Steph Houghton, won 15 major trophies with Manchester City and Arsenal. And she won 121 caps for England too, and she led them to 3 semi-finals in major tournaments and competed at both the 2012 and the 2020 Olympics for Team GB. She was a real trailblazer in the game, and I suppose, Karen, give you a chance just to pay your respects to an amazing player.
Yeah, legend. I think you mentioned there London 2012. That's the one where I really think the world really took to Steph Houghton there. But for me, you know, we had a lot of big personalities in that squad, but Steph Houghton was the consistent. She never got too high, never got too low, and that's what made her a real good leader. But she's incredible. I'm sure whatever she goes on to do next will be equally the same, and I wish her all the best. But what a great human.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Karen. Thank you, writing more from these two in a second. Now, Sweden finished 3rd in the World Cup last summer, beating the USA on the way. And we know England lost out in the final to Spain. And after the break, we're going to hear from Sarina Wiegman as she reflects back on last summer, on where England are now and what they want to do. The last time these two teams met, it was in the semi-finals of the Euros 2 years ago at Bramall Lane. Beth Mead opened the scoring, Lucy Bronze made it 2-0, and Alicia Russo scored the goal of the tournament with that back heel. Fran Kirby made it 4-0 on the night, and that win took England to the Euros final, and we all know what happened here at Wembley 2 years ago after that. Well, yesterday in the press conference, Sarina Wiegman said they aren't thinking about the last Euros. All eyes are on the present. And Katie Shanahan sat down with the England manager, who was in a reflective mood. How do you reflect on the last 8 months?
Intense. They were very intense. Straight after the World Cup, there wasn't a lot of time to process that because we went straight into the Nations League. We were really disappointed, and I think we were not at our best.
Have you fully gotten over the disappointment of not qualifying for the Paris Olympics?
It took me a while, but yes. And now we've had the reset. You can't just keep living in what happened in history. Moving on is important too, and not making the Olympics, and okay, we don't have that, so it gives us another opportunity then, try to turn it around, to really focus on the Euros.
The February camp in Marbella marked a fresh start. New faces, squad rotation and back-to-back wins as the Lionesses start their journey to defending their European crown.
That was very, very positive. We said before the camp too, now we have 2 friendlies, so we can try out things, we can try out combinations, we can play many players, and it gives us so much information about the players and about different combinations, and it brought a lot of joy too.
There was some criticism around the games in Spain due to the lack of
fans in attendance. Can you understand why there was that criticism?
Yeah, I do understand, because people want to come and watch our games, and when we're abroad, we're in Spain, then it's harder for them to come. So there were English fans for us, but not as many as we have had here in England.
Welcome!
Sweden marks the start of a tricky Euro 2025 qualifying campaign. How difficult is this group going to be?
It's a tough group, but at the same time, it's a very exciting group too.
How are you going to stop Sweden?
Well, maybe how are they going to stop us? They have speed up front, they're very direct forward, but we have to be really good in possession and taking out the counter-attack of Sweden.
In January, the Lionesses were greeted with some great news. You extending your contract until 2027. Why did you want to stay on as England manager?
I really enjoy the job. I just really love to work here with my colleagues and with the players. And I do think that we can grow more. There's one more Euros, there's one more World Cup, and I felt really comfortable with that.
You've said you've still got unfinished business.
I knew you were going to say that.
What do you still want to achieve?
We have dreams, and I have dreams, and I think we have a very good team. And then, of course, I hope we win so many games. We want to be successful, and that's why I think it's unfinished business, so we want more.
So pretty good news, really, for Lionesses fans. Sarina Wiegman has extended her contract. They've already had so much success under her. You feel like she is just the right person to bring them forward?
Well, she's already won us a European Championship. She's got us to a World Cup final. And I think with the group that we have, she obviously thinks, and the FA obviously thinks she's the right person and has the right group of players to get us success again in Switzerland and thereafter as well. And I have to agree. And I think, look, she has earned it. She deserves it. And we're getting the best out of our England team with her.
But I don't know, to add to that, you know, I'm delighted, obviously, that we've signed her up. So I think she's easily one of the best coaches in the world. What she's done with us, where she's taken us with the tournaments. Obviously, there's some of the times you're talking about some of the selections you can go into, but at the same time, she's doing the very best she can to get the best team out there for us to do well.
That is a really good interview. So if you want to watch the extended version with Katie Shanahan, you can go over to ITV Sports YouTube channel and watch the whole one, the sit down with Sarina Wiegman. Now listen, she mentioned how difficult that group is. It is a tough group. It's really, really tough when you put it into context. 3 of the top 6 teams in the world are in this group. Righty, can I call it the group of death, do you think?
No.
No?
No, I still think that as much as as much as a tough group, it's what you've got to do. We are one of the better teams in the tournament, and we have to play whoever we're going to play, and we've got to beat them. They will come to us knowing that we are one of the favourites for the tournament.
I mean, you've even got, like, England, obviously, you just saw there, 2, France 3, Sweden 3, Republic of Ireland 25, but Republic of Ireland make it really difficult as well. It's like no easy game.
I actually think it is the group of death, because I go back to other qualifications. England was always like 6-0, so it was easy qualifying. This is a really, really tough group, and that's why I said to you at the start of the show, we have got to get a result here today. We've got to start the campaign like we want to end it, and winning it and retaining it. And I know this is the qualifications, but that is a really tough group, and this is a massive game tonight.
I also quite liked, I enjoyed what Sarina said there when Katie said, how are you going to stop them? And she was like, how are they going to stop us?
Exactly. This is why, as much as it is a tough group, they've got to be wary about us. And, you know, we've got players who can change games, and we've got players who are experienced at this level. So we should go in there confident, without being arrogant about what we're doing, but confident, because we are European champions.
And Leah Williamson, the captain, is back on the bench, and that's going to give everyone a boost.
It's massive. It's great to see her out here with the team. It probably is a little bit too early coming back from her injury, and there's no need to rush her. The players are doing well, but it's great to have her back in. She'll be huge for us moving forward.
Guys, it's really loud in here, which I always love saying because it's such a great atmosphere at Wembley. Sweden, they were the inaugural winners of the European Championship when they played England over 2 legs back in 1984, and Sweden won that one 1-0 with that goal there, Pia Sundhage, a diving header in Gothenburg. England then won 1-0 at a very muddy Kenilworth Road. Linda Cole with this great strike, you'll see. It went to penalties that night. And it was actually Sweden, disappointingly, who won 4-3 to be crowned Europe's first women's champions, and how times had changed in the women's game since then, especially the kits, especially the pitches. Kenilworth Road looks much better now. Teams are going to be out very, very soon after this quick break, so stay with us. It's good to be back here at Wembley Stadium, isn't it? They've got a light show going on at the moment. It is so busy in here and so loud. The atmosphere is amazing. It's the first time the Lionesses are back playing in England this year. They haven't played in England since December. And this crowd will be chuffed to see them back playing on the pitch. Sweden are the opponents lining up in the tunnel to take on the Lionesses on home ground tonight. What do you want to see from the Lionesses, Karen?
Lauren James, Alessia Russo and Hem, the attacking players, to go and do their business, be expressive, take people on. Serena Wiegmann says, how is Sweden going to stop us? And let the front three go and express themselves.
What about you, Righty?
You know what, I really want to see Grace Clinton in this kind of this atmosphere. Obviously, I feel that Lottie Wubben-Moy will be fine. She's a very experienced player. Really good to see like Kira leading England out. It must be a great moment for her. But like I say, Grace Clinton in this kind of environment is what I'm excited to see. I think she's going to do really well.
Marriott's lining up behind Kira there as well. So many players on the Sweden side that WSL fans will know and have watched and will be familiar with and know exactly how dangerous they could be as well, Karen.
Yeah, look, we mentioned it. I think 10 out of the squad are playing in the WSL, so people at home might recognise them. But look, it's about England and Serena Wiegmann. How can we impose ourselves? European Championships, we're the holders, and this starts now to retaining it.
Absolutely.
Saw the bench as well, a little glimpse of the players that Serena has in her armoury to bring on. So much talent there as well.
Well, exactly. We saw what that done for us in the Euros. You know, people coming off the bench, and we've got unbelievable players on the bench. So I think that this is the atmosphere that the girls thrive in, and you just want them to all play. Just play. Just go and do it like Karen said. Go and have a go at them.
Competitive game with a real goal in mind as well, because these guys are defending champions. This is big.
Look, what we've seen from the Nation League is there's no room for error, and we have got a really tough group. We've already mentioned it, and it starts here. This is our first game in the qualifying, and like I said, it's our trophy. How long has it taken us to win it? How long has it taken us to retain it? This is a massive moment for England. The fans are here right behind them. I just want us to start the campaign really well.
A chance to put a marker down, Righty.
But the thing is that we've got a target on our back. We are the European champions. We're defending this tournament. And I think that the players are experienced and good enough to know the situation they're in. And they're just going to go out, be professional, get the job done.
Okay, the teams are now on their way out. England start their qualifying campaign, the Euro 2025 against Sweden. So let's see how they get on here at packed out Wembley Stadium. Your commentary team for this evening is Enia Luco alongside Seb Hutchinson.
Yes, thank you, Laura. England's route to Euro 2025 starts at the venue where the previous Euros ended, with England as champions. Wembley welcomes them back to face one of Europe's best from the off in this revised qualification. Sweden for so long a tournament regular, but missing out at the Olympics this summer. They will be determined to take their place in the competition next year. First up, the anthems. against Sweden, and all the action is after this short break. We are at the National Stadium as the Lionesses open their account in European qualification for Euro 2025, and they are facing quite the challenge in one of the continent's best, Sweden. And look at the two 11s. Sarina Wiegman selects 10 of the 11 that started the friendly against Italy last time out. Lauren James for Chloe Kelly is the only change, which means Leah Williamson is only on the bench. Kira Walsh, the starting captain again. Sweden without defenders Amanda Ilestedt of Arsenal, and Everton's Chelsea's Natalie Björn, but are able to welcome back former Chelsea captain Magda Eriksson. Fridolina Rolfö makes her first start since the World Cup after knee surgery. A lineup with 4 current WSL players, including Stina Blackstenius, who scored Arsenal's winner in the League Cup final. And that famous yellow of Sweden, who in Europe, in women's football, have been amongst the best. And both sets of players take the knee. Away we go, the start of Euro qualifiers, the start of England's defence of the trophy. And a tough start, as the new format was designed to produce. There will be no more 20-0s with this opposition in it.
I don't think that's going to be the score today, Seth. This is definitely a tough game. I'm excited for the challenge for England. You know, this is a group with 3 top 6 European sides, or top 6 sides in the world. So it's a tough group. But I think England always rise to these challenges. The character of the team always comes out when they have to face top opposition. So I'm excited to see how they cope today.
England rising to a new FIFA ranking high of 2nd in the world, just behind the world champion Spain, who's defeated England in that final last year. This is a Sweden side with plenty of experience and talent, and Angeldal, Manchester City playing that forward to Chelsea's winning Cartwright in towards Blackstenius already. And already Sweden showing what they can do.
Yeah, Stina Blackstenius obviously coming off the back of a winning goal at the weekend. She's going to be a threat tonight for Sweden, and a test for Lotta Wimben-Boye and Alex Greenwood, a dominant centre forward who we know can score goals.
And this England partnership that started friendly against Italy, and Greenwood and Wimben-Boye together for just some time. Lucy Bronze, fascinating battle on that side with her Barcelona teammate Fridolina Rolfö.
That's it, Seb. There's going to be a lot of familiarity tonight. 10 Swedish players who play for WSL teams. Particularly the battle between Lotta Wimben-Boye and Stina Blackstenius is going to be interesting, given their club teammates.
Powerful figure down that left-hand side. Club and country, Rolfö. We know Lucy Bronze likes to get forward. Here's Rolfö again, losing out. And Russo to get England going. There's an atmosphere already in this stadium. Tinkanrid driving forward. She's got decent pace as well. Slide that ball into Blackstenius, and then Charles was hoping that ball would roll behind for a goal kick, not quite.
Good defending from Niamh Charles there. You see Blackstenius just makes the clever run into that channel. The weight of pass isn't quite right from Rita Tinkanrid, but Niamh Charles defends it well.
So first corner of the match. Anderson, formerly of Chelsea. Fair few Chelsea players involved in both squads today. They are Quite strong from set pieces, Sweden. Anderson to send that ball into the near post. It was awkward for England there. Another chance. Anderson to send one in once more. To get that ball away, but a decent enough start from the Swedes.
It is, and I know from playing at Wembley, it's one of those pitches, it's such a big pitch, and it's really important to get the control of the possession, particularly in the first 15 minutes of games. England haven't done that so far. The first 5 minutes, Sweden have very much looked like the dominant team in possession, but England have to try and solve that.
Get this ball here through Russo, but there is Eriksson striding forward, but penalised. And Eriksson, a great figure in the game, who's been affected by injury. Long time out this season. He's going to return to the Sweden side as well. Mattia Hansen. Coach now for 7 years. First Sweden coach to not qualify for an Olympic Games. Frustration, but a big part of that is the format, the new format with the Nations League, which saw teams have the chance to qualify for the Olympics through that route. Traditionally, it would be World Cup placings, although Sweden still would have missed out, even though they reached the World Cup semi-finals, because France, as hosts, taking up one of the 3 European spots and an all-European final with England and Spain, but it would have meant Team GB. It would have been Paris this summer.
Yeah, it's interesting, Seb. Both teams bouncing back from Olympic qualification disappointment. Sweden in particular, 6 semi-finals in the last 7 major tournaments. Just see there, Magda does catch Russo. But 6 semi-finals in 7 major tournaments. I think this generation of the Sweden team will want to put that right. And they will definitely go into the Euros, I think, as favourites, as England will be as well.
Serena Wiegmann right now, we're hoping that Russo's okay. She has got strong players in reserve, but as far as central strikers go, Russo really is the main presence up front for England in the middle.
Just hoping it's not a nasty one for Alessia on her ankle. She's certainly a player that England need in terms of that goal-scoring threat, but you look at the bench, players like Beth Mead available too. It's always a strong England squad when you look at the attacking talent. Fran Kirby as well on the bench. Ella Toone, a lot of attacking strength.
The other 2 teams in this group, France and Ireland, where they kick off at 8:10, so in about 4 minutes' time. And Ireland will be England's next opponents in the Aviva Stadium in Dublin next Tuesday. A great venue and another great fixture this new format produces. And Alessia Russo still getting treatment after being wrapped on the shins. Concern for Serena Wiegmann. And of course, when the last few games for England would have been friendlies, that mindset, of course, not taking any chances with players, maybe thinking of clubs as well, but we're in qualification now. And that means you want your best team out there, and looking that they're okay. You can see maybe a little bit.
I think there's a bit of strapping going on.
In these sort of situations, Henny, of course, you've got a side preparing to defend this free kick. Now the referee will ask Russo to be treated off the pitch. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long for the referee to ask Russo to have the treatment on the side.
Yeah, you mentioned it there to Seb in terms of Sweden being strong from set pieces offensively, but defensively they're equally as strong. That's an aspect to look out for in this game in terms of how England can maximise the set pieces, which they've shown they can do in previous games.
Here Arsene showing his frustration. A cheer for Russo, she goes off. That's a man who's not quite happy at the moment, because his side They've had all this time to wait, get themselves set for England to send this ball into the penalty area, and we know Greenwood produce a very good delivery. England are looking for now. Lucy Bronze often a target. Hemp good in the air as well. Centre halves forward, it's sent in towards Bronze. Flashed wide by Clinton, who's so full of confidence at the moment.
Yeah, right position for Grace Clinton. Second phase, great delivery from Alex Greenwood. And that's the position you need, your second phase players on set pieces. Doesn't quite catch it, but certainly right position.
What a reward this is for Grace Clinton to be starting a fixture like this, considering the players who can play in that position for England as well. Fran Kirby, Ella Toone.
Yeah, the guys mentioned it in the studio in terms of Grace Clinton being maybe a surprise addition for this game. But I think for England, that number 10 position hasn't actually been cemented. You see different players, Ella Toone, Fran Kirby, and now Grace Clinton earning her spot in that number 10 role. Lauren James has played in there as well, so excited to see how Grace Clinton copes on this Wembley pitch in this difficult game.
That was actually excellent work from Lundqvist. Now Blackstenius, but the flag goes up. They show they can break quickly, Sweden. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about that 4-0 victory, but Sweden did create a lot of chances in that game.
Yes, but the 4-0 victory is what we care about, Zev.
Yeah.
and of course, that brilliant goal scored by Alessia Russo, the back heel, I think will go down in history. More of that, please, today from Alessia Russo. I'm sure she'll hope to do that again against Sweden.
She's back on. And Clinton, strong challenge, diving in there, but Zadrossi picks it up. Angeldal. Tinkanridge sold a bit short. And Charles. We know England, and this England team now can mix it with Sweden, that's for sure, but right now, another player down already in the first 10 minutes of this match. We saw Clinton go in with a strong challenge just a moment ago.
Yeah, it's another, I think it's a 50-50, another one that probably has just caught the ankle. But that's the side of it. It's always going to be a physical game against Sweden.
Here's Eriksson. Clinton seems okay for now, just caught just above the knee. Follow through challenge. Here's Bronze. And Russo. Let's hold up the ball so well. Focal point for England to work round. As we know the talent England have in the wide areas. Probably England's strongest area at the moment. Clinton collects and turns. Hemp on the front foot for Lauren Hemp. Just always expecting her to try and drive past the defender, whatever the position. But they're organised, Sweden.
Well, yeah, I think tactically as well, it's going to be interesting to see whether Sweden encourage the ball down this left-hand side of England, which they will see as probably the weaker side in terms of our attacking threat. So encouraging it down the left-hand side rather than Lucy Bronze's side.
Short there from Earps, almost. You can see how quickly Sweden looked to break forward and stretch that England defence. We know it's been a vulnerability for the side. Lundqvist, one of those playing in the United States. Club side. San Diego Wave. In that sort of area, Sweden. And Nicole Bang of Brighton is on the bench. And this Sweden side have remained competitive. And Earps put under pressure. And Lauren James, feels like she touched the ball yet, Lauren James?
She hasn't got into the game, but we know with Lauren James at any moment she can be that bright spark, that spark of brilliance.
Just trying to steal a few yards. The referee wasn't having it. Lundqvist. Lead forward by Sembrant. Very experienced member of that Swedish backline. Missing lots of experience back there as well. Angeldal losing it. Kirolj. Into Russo. Wide it will go towards Hemp. And this is the sort of space she loves. Hemp driving on to get past Anderson. Bronze. Stanway. Once again, Fisper-Olfer. They go here, England, but a bit of possession for England after Sweden have had some good moments so far. That one's cut out. Naslani. Angeldal sees the space, drives into it. Blackstenius wanted it played forward. Tim Carnrid waiting.
Excellent play there from Lucy Bronze. She's out of position, but she's recognised the threat of the counter-attack and slowed it down. Taken the number off her back from right back and become a defensive midfielder and stop the counter-attack from Sweden.
Angeldal has had a lot of touches so far, the central midfielder. And again, Laura James can't get on the ball there. But as we know, Sweden will be very familiar with the Chelsea forward. Jotti intercepts Saslani. Martin Carnrid, very talented winger. Lundqvist, referee happy for play to carry on there. Ruben Moy holding off her Arsenal teammate. So many of these players know each other so well. What sort of difference does that make on the international stage?
I think it's the details. So obviously we've shouted out the battle between Ruben Moy and Blackstenius. She will know her game. They'll play against each other in training. So it'll be the details, the runs. In terms of Ruben Moy's positioning, that'll be interesting to see how she anticipates the runs that Blackstenius makes so well.
Here's James. This is what we come to expect from Lauren James, shrugging off challenges. Wide it goes to him. And him, too much on the cross in the end. We also see Grace Clinton making those runs from midfield into the penalty area. She is a presence in the air as well. Or maybe a completely different type of player to the likes of Toole and Kirby.
Yeah, it's a key part of that number 10 role, and it's exactly why Sarina Wiegman wants to play 2 10s, to add that attacking threat and an extra body in the box when England are attacking. I think England so far have done well to really utilise that right side, which I think is the strongest side for England.
So Jotti had a chance to slide that ball through to Martin Carnrid. Lundqvist, that's not a bad ball at all. And are able to clear. James does win the free kick in the end. Well, speaking of familiarity, Kenny, 3 of the back 4 of Sweden you've actually played with.
Yes, former teammates. Magda Eriksson in particular, played against in training. She used to leave it on me quite a few times. I've still got the scars to prove it. Very physical player and a leader. Obviously, she's just come back from injury as well. She's been out, long-term injury with foot injury, but she's a big part of this Swedish team.
Here's Bronze playing it forward. And Ireland, incidentally, already behind, only 6 minutes in. Sciorro with a goal for France. Decide who, of course, will be hosting the Olympic Games. In front, game being played in Metz. England expecting to play in Saint-Etienne. And they go to face France, which will be some challenge. Yet to face France under Sarina Wiegman, and a real problem team for England. Here's Greenwood. Clinton. Into turn, but then tackled, and that must be a free kick.
It's a great ball from Alex Greenwood. Brilliant lofted ball to find Clinton in that pocket, and she wins the team a foul. But that's what Alex Greenwood can do. She can find those pockets of players in space.
There's another WSL matchup. Giorgiotti, the Brighton midfielder. The foul is Walsh. Leave Charles. And it will be interesting when Leah Williamson does come back into the side, whether Greenwood will be her partner or move to left back, because Leave Charles has been a bit of a fixture on the left-hand side recently. Alex Greenwood, stability on the ball is very important for England. Stanway. Hemp. Stanway puts the ball out of play. She played in Bayern Munich's cup victory on penalties. Eintracht Frankfurt. And Hemp just chasing down there, trying to get to that ball, but so far you can see there's not much between the sides.
No, but England have got more possession and grown into it. Particularly on that right-hand side, you see that battle between Hemp and Jan Andersen. You'd fancy Hemp, once she gets into her groove 1v1, to maximise.
Stanway. There's Greenwood. James. As you say, Annie, we're starting to see a lot more of the ball after that start from Sweden. Here's Lucy Bronze. Stanway. Clinton has fitted right into this England side. And that's a loose pass. So Tinkarid can slide this through. Blackstenius leaves it for Rolfer. And Rolfer drives it low and past the post. But they've shown already they can break quickly.
Yeah, uncharacteristic square ball there from Keira Walsh. Leads to a counter-attack because Lucy Bronze has gone high. Rolfer exploits that space and doesn't quite catch it. But it comes from a misplaced pass. England just have to watch out for that threat on the counter-attack from Sweden.
Much more attacking role for country than she does for her club. Maybe because Barcelona have so much attacking talent in the front areas anyway. Here's Greenwood. Nice turn from Clinton. Shrugs off one challenge. Stanway. This might open up for England. Hemp. Who's sent in towards Russo.
Well, any question marks about whether Grace Clinton was ready? I think she's just answered it. Brilliant turn on the half turn is exactly what you need to do as a number 10. When you feel pressure, can you roll your player? It's led to an attack for England. Brilliant play.
It's a lovely switch by Greenwood. Hemp. There goes Hemp. Just enough of a nudge, actually, from Andersen. But it will be an England corner. The first corner of the game for England. Sweden being good from set pieces, and maybe better. They show it in this particular situation. Ruben Moy waiting, delivery. Sweden do get the first touch. Clinton. James. The pass, I think, looking for the give and go, but didn't get it back. Here's Walsh. Greenwood. Searching ball, looking for Charles. And Charles! Oh, and what a recovery by Lundqvist in the end. But they've given it away once more, Sweden, and England building the pressure. Charles. So close.
So close. Great run from Niamh Charles, though, just to get inside of Lundqvist. She just quite catches it. Good defending from her.
James. James, lovely clip ball! The first goal on the road to the Euros. And it's Alessia Russo against Sweden again.
When you were talking, Seb, about Lauren James being quiet. When she wants to, that's exactly what she does. 1v1, and puts a great ball in. Striker's dream, and Alessia Russo's done what she's done many times before for England and puts it away. Brilliant patient play there. Hold-up play from Alessia Russo, and this is a position Lauren James relishes. 1v1, and just stands it up. Brilliant finish for Alessia Russo. But it's the initial patient play as well from England. Just recycling the ball from the set piece. Great start.
We're talking about how many touches Lauren James has had for England. The reason why we were concerned about that is we want her on the ball, because that's the sort of thing she can do. Such an important part of this England setup.
And that's where you want to see her as well, higher up in the pitch. There's a few times so far in this half she's actually got it quite deep. And you think that's not where you want Lauren James. You want her in those 1v1 positions to assist.
And now Hemp to drive forwards. Options left and right. Stanway lets fly. And a goal kick in the end. But England playing with confidence.
Yeah, I think Georgia Stanway makes the wrong choice there. I think she's got to slip it into Lauren James, who's running on the outside of her. You just see. But Georgia Stanway, to be fair, has scored many long-range goals for England, so she has a right to have a shot.
She'll have Lauren James to her right there. We did ask the question. Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland in qualification groups below England, so even if they were to win their qualification groups, they wouldn't qualify directly for the Euros. They'd have to go into playoffs against the third and fourth place teams in the top groups. But right now tonight, Wales taking on Croatia. They're 3-0 up at home after 55 minutes. Northern Ireland being held by Malta midway through the second half in that one, and earlier on today, Serbia 0, Scotland 0. Certainly another catching result at half-time in another of the qualification groups. Austria are beating Germany 2-1 at half-time. Russo. Clinton. She's not afraid of a challenge, putting her foot in.
Alessia Russo likes a goal against Sweden. And that's always part of the psychology sometimes coming into these big games. If you've scored before, particularly the goal she scored in the Euros, that exceptional back heel, it gives you that confidence, that edge to know that you can do it again against the same opposition.
Of course, that was from the bench that Russo did that, but she's very much a starter nowadays after Ellen White's retirement. But a competitor at club level is playing for Sweden tonight. Blackstenius. There's Rolfo.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see both that competition for that number 9 spot between Russo and Blackstenius. I think Russo has edged it. Blackstenius has come off the bench a lot more for Arsenal, but still got the goals obviously the winning goal in the Conti Cup final at the weekend. So it's a great battle between those two forwards for that spot for Arsenal. That's only going to benefit Arsenal.
And Clinton, again taking a chance, didn't get the free kick. And Asllani wants to get on with it. Goldal pushed backwards by Clinton. Won't leave her alone. Sembrant forward to Blackstenius, having his shirt held by Greenwood, who was touch tight there. Giljotti. Eriksson. Click ball over the top. And Mary Earps read the danger. Come out to sweep.
Good anticipation there for Mary Earps, right off her line. Stops the threat.
Wales now 4-0 up in their qualifier at home to Croatia. They also have Ukraine and Kosovo in their group. Here's Hemp. Greenwood. To go long, searching ball towards Stanway. Eriksson got there. Had to. Giljotti. For Blackstenius, who runs the channel so well. Blackstenius to run it for Moy. Moy with a foot in. Rolfer. And Rolfer slides it through. Asllani's flag goes up. And a good time to mention there is no VAR.
It's a good line, good defensive line from England. Well stepped up there from Alex Greenwood. Smart to just step up as she sees Asllani's running behind. Who needs VAR when you've got good defensive offside?
I think you're just going to leave it at that. Asllani, what an experienced presence, closing in on 200 caps for Sweden. Lucy Bronze moving to 119, 120 caps tonight. Here's Hemp. And Hemp just ran out of room. But Lucy Bronze could actually go level, and probably likely will go level with Steph Houghton if she faces Ireland on Tuesday. International appearances for England.
Yeah, very experienced player, Lucy Bronze, and a winner. She'll want more than anything to get over that disappointment, not qualifying for the Olympics and starting the defence of this title well, the European title well. Mary Earps said it pre-match that they've got fire in their belly as a result of that Olympic disappointment, but now they've got a new focus.
It really was the barest of margins, wasn't it? One goal difference in the end, the difference. Oh, for Moy, waiting for Earps, who does come.
Just notice here that Hemp and James have switched flanks, which is always a nightmare for opposition. But smart from England.
They tend to do it often when Chloe Kelly's playing as well. Hemp. Lundqvist. Giljotti, again that ball over the top. And again, Earps has to be watchful. That does seem the best route to success for Sweden at the moment. I would have expected England to have a lot more of the ball in this game. And with the advantage given to them by Alessia Russo.
I think England have done very well there in terms of once Kira Walsh is stopped from getting on the ball. You see here by Asllani, they find another route either through Clinton or Georgia Stanway. The rotation in midfield has been brilliant so far.
It's excellent from Clinton. She may have overrun the ball, but made sure that England stayed on the front foot. Hemp and selling Clinton short again. Now the flag stays down for Blackstenius, who's has Villermoy isolated and tries to slide the pass through to Conrad, but recovered well enough in the end.
Just got to be careful of that for England. It's very clear what Sweden are trying to do with a willing runner and Blackstenius up front. Recognise when England are out of shape and then put it in behind. So far, so good in terms of defending that for England, but it's definitely a threat so far for Sweden.
Well, Bronze won that ball in the air, but she was caught, actually, as she got there first. And I think both players, Martin Conrad as well, it is more Bronze into the back of Conrad.
Yeah, it's back-to-back, fortunately, and not head-to-head. Both players okay.
They may meet each other again in a few weeks when Chelsea face Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final, both legs. Very tough draw for Chelsea because Barcelona, a standout team in Europe. So many of those Spain World Cup winners, and also with players like Rolfer, Bronze and Walsh.
Well, I think it's got to the point now, if you want to win the Champions League, you've got to beat Barcelona. It's a rite of passage almost.
Shot from Angeldal, flashes over. A break from the midfield.
Doesn't quite keep it down, but good positioning from Angeldal. We've seen her at Manchester City do well in midfield and dominate.
Started 8 games, come on in 4 of City's WSL matches this season. To score this season, that's not really her role in the side. She had an effort there. This is Greenwood. Jotti. Rolfer. And Rolfer might fancy this herself. Plays it to Aslani. And that was a really dangerous situation for England there, with 3 experienced players for Sweden bearing forward.
Another example there, Seb, of a turnover in midfield, square pass. Kira Walsh isolated, and then Sweden are on the break at England's box. I think Rolfer there had the opportunity to slip it into Blackstenius.
Aslani going across to take this corner. It's a busy 6-yard box. Already shown a threat in this first half, Sweden. Didn't expect anything less. And they force one in from this corner. And just about get that one away. Warren James wasn't that far away to latching onto that. Aslani onto Rolfer. Rolfer across. It's not a bad ball at all. It'll be another corner.
Very tempting ball from Rolfo. Really inviting for Blackstenius to get across. Doesn't quite get across in the near post. So it's well defended from England. But brilliant ball from Rolfo.
This corner kick situation now for Sweden, starting to rack them up. In goes the corner, and again, it's an important touch. Sweden, well, it was an England head that got there. The ball's cleared away. Throw in. Walsh back. Penalty error for England. Got a bit of defending to do here. Conrad still fighting enough to get in the way. Lundqvist. Russo.
Russo's hold-up play has been exceptional so far in this half, doing exactly what she needs to do as a centre-forward. Particularly when she comes deep. Can you get a foul? Can you get your team up the pitch? She's done exactly that.
It's a foul from the former teammate of Ennis in the Sembrant at Juventus. She's still technically lost to Juventus, but is on loan at Bayern Munich. Anderson. Look at James. She gets her body between the ball and the opponent. It's difficult to get it off her. Blackstenius. Sembren. Angeldal. She plays that ball back inside. Eve Charles is begging for Mary Earps to deal with that one. Fist, who's seen a fair amount of the ball on the right-hand side, and told to go back a long way back. She'll keep trying it though. Here's Blackstenius. Tinkanrid, put in from Hemp. And also, England have recognised the threat coming down this side. And Hemp helping out defensively, but Tinkanrid has found a way in behind. He's asking for a touch from a yellow shirt that wasn't there.
Yeah, another brilliant, enticing ball from Tinkanrid.
Here's Rolfer. Good pressure from Sweden. Ziljotti to send it in. Aslani goes up. Angeldal. Angeldal lays it off. It's blocked. I think from Kira Walsh. I don't think she knew much about it actually in the end. Hemp. Now Stanway. It's quite a relieving free kick for England right now.
We've seen two very enticing balls from Sweden. Just don't quite have the instinct. You see on this one, Rittinkarmi puts it in the right area. I think Rolfo comes in, and actually if she stays out wide in her position, she probably gets a tap in there.
Seen the speed though, Rittinkarmi. Aslani couldn't release the pass. Bubamoy. Race to the 41st minute. There was a bit of time out when Russo was down early in the game. James. And James will look for him and find her. And Hemp also wanted that ball played in. Clinton also in the penalty area. Charles. James. She's caught in two minds there, Lauren James. Tinkanrid gives it away. And it's back control again. Charles. See though, Grace Clinton and England are on the ball. Not involved in the build-up too much in these sort of situations. It's to join Russo in the penalty area. Here's Stanway. Too much on that pass from Georgia Stanway, who scored a penalty for Bayern Munich against Eintracht Frankfurt in a game that went to a shootout in which she failed from the spot. She's usually England's principal penalty taker.
And a trusted player. Obviously, Wiegman really trusts Georgia Stanway. She always seems to be the player that's in that 10 role, and then it's who joins her. And as you say, Grace Clinton, I think, has not looked out of place at all so far in this game. And I think in that position, it is about timing, Seb. When you're going forward, you've got to get forward and help your centre forward. But when you're building up, then she's got to drop down and be available to help.
Russo, Clinton. That was blocked. He's in a good area there. Stanway. Walsh. Almost on cue there for Grace Clinton.
That's the attacking timing I'm talking about.
I think of players like Lindsay Horan or Carly Lloyd, those powerful midfield presences that can be in the penalty area, make things happen, score goals. Here's Clinton. James. Greg Clinton would love to be compared to those two players, of course.
No pressure. But again, there you see, just being available for the bounce back for Alessia Russo, so important for a forward. You need that attacking midfielder to join you, to just have that one-touch bounce, and then you can play. And Grace Clinton did that well there.
Here's Charles. It's particularly big nights for Grace Clinton and for Lotte Wubben-Moy. It's two players, of course, who've not been in Serena Wiegmann's thoughts until recent matches. But there is a chance to be in that starting 11 for England in the Euros. It's not set in stone, of course, with injuries an issue. Stanway. To Russo. Only Hemp in the penalty area at the moment. James. Now Bronze. And Hemp wants that slid in. Bronze instead just picks out Anderson. Blackstenius. Aslani. Able to break quickly, Sweden. That's when they've looked dangerous. Putting Kahnryd inside. But Angeldal almost losing it, but not quite. To Kahnryd again, dispossessed by Hemp. No doubt, as we mentioned before, that is another reason for that switch between Hemp and James.
Yeah, it's smart tactically when wingers switch, because the right-back opposition just gets used to understanding the winger, and then all of a sudden it's a new player.
The 1-2, and Hemp, will she keep it in play? She does. Waiting for support in Walsh. Charles. James. Almost another ball right on point. Russo applauds it. Could she have got there?
It's just too high. It looked like she was in two minds, Alessia Russo there. Maybe Lucy Bronze gives her a shout. Don't know. Lucy Bronze is right behind the line of the ball. Just a bit of hesitation there. But again, Lauren James, when given time, that's what she can pick out.
Only 3 minutes to be added on here. Expected more at the time that Russo was down, but it's the number that was held up. Tolfafol in the Sweden goal actually hasn't been tested too much. Clinton. Charles. Greenwood. Stanway. For Wubben-Moy. Now Lauren James. Time for one more chance here before half-time. Stanway, quick feet, Zanjotti. The challenge, Rolfa penalised. Be a free kick. England just making sure they get to half-time here with the lead intact.
It's good from England, and to see that passage of play, Georgia Stanway drops down deeper, Kira Walsh goes higher. The minute Sweden think they're stopping Kira Walsh.
Switched off slightly there, Sweden. And almost got there, Lauren James. Jonna Anderson across. Spent 4 years at Chelsea. 4 WSL titles.
Brilliant professional, Jonna Anderson. Always one of the first in the gym at Chelsea. Really enjoyed playing with her.
Team Kahnryd, challenge will be across through Stanway. Now, Herbst will get there first. Leave Charles. Now Hemp. Greenwood. Goes to Stanway. We've seen some tactical differences here from England in this first half. And a lead for England in this first half. Alessia Russo scoring against Sweden again. This one not as outrageous as the one of the Euros, but they all count the same. Sweden have shown that they're a tough side, but they are behind. Half-time at Wembley. England 1, Sweden 0. Away we go, the start of Euro Qualifier. James, lovely kick ball! The first goal on the road to the Euros, and it's Alessia Russo.
Well, at Wembley at half-time, it's 1-0 to the Lionesses as they kick off their qualifying campaign for Euro 2025. They eventually figured out how to break Sweden down, or exactly how to break through, Karen, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they started off with Lauren Hemp on the right-hand side and trying to exploit down Sweden's left-hand side, but they eventually broke it through. This is Lauren Hemp where she originally started on the right-hand side, and the left-back for Sweden, Jan Andersson, is really good. When you push and run, she can actually stay with you. It's comfortable. I played with her for quite a few years at Chelsea, so I know her strengths and her weaknesses. Again, in this, Hempo's on the right-hand side. She's naturally a left footer. She's a push and run type of player. And Jonna Andersson, the Sweden left-back, is comfortable. Yes, England win a corner, but I think Jonna Andersson struggles more when she's in a 1v1 chopping situation. This was the first time where Lauren James went on that side, and Andersson was a bit petrified of it because she just dropped the shoulder, didn't push and run, and just crossed it. This is it now. She drops the shoulder. Russo is in a brilliant position. It's a lovely thing. Great header, and that was the first time the wingers had swapped and got success, but this is what Andersson didn't want, and Lauren James really exploited it, but it's a great header from Russo.
Is that what you get when you get Lauren James on the pitch in different positions?
It was Laura, simply because Lauren James, she'll more try and move you, and you could see what happened with the defender that she got moved, and she got a whole yard of space to then chip it in. She's a different proposition to Lauren M.
Well, it is 1-0 to England, but Sweden have had opportunities as well, right, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And I think they started a game where they were putting us under pressure at the top, but this is just from our silly mistake. Kira Walsh trying a massive Hollywood ball, getting it totally wrong. And this is perfect for Sweden and what they want to do, get a transition kind of break on us. And obviously she hasn't got enough support with her. She's had a shot from there. She ideally wanted the target, but it was a good effort, and it's just a sign of being careful. Same here with Kanjaryd. This is great play from Sweden. Now, you want Spacksenis to get herself in the middle of the goal. She's on the wrong side. She's in advance of the near post, in fact. So she's never going to get there. As soon as Kanjaryd turns there, she should have been getting herself turned off a lot to get in the middle of the goal so she can have that tap in. So it's still dangerous. We've still got to be careful of them in that last third when they win the ball.
So far, how pleased are you with the way England are playing, and what do you think they need to do in the second half to improve?
You know what, for me, this is all about the result, Laura. You know, this is qualification. It's the first one, so sometimes I'm not too concerned with the performance. I want us to get a win and get on our way, and it is against a really tricky Sweden. So, look, can we play a little bit better, those sloppy passes? But overall, I'm pretty happy.
Same for you?
Well, I'd like to see us control it a bit more at the back. Lotta can play. Alex Greenwood can play, Kira can play. Let's suck them onto us and then pass it through, get it through to Lauren Hemp, Lauren James, and let's take them apart. Let's play through them.
Okay, well, that second half is coming up very soon, but so far so good for Serena Wiegmann's Lionesses here at Wembley as they kick off their qualifying campaign. There you go, not so good for Peter Gerhardsson and his Sweden side, but there is 45 minutes for that team to get back into it. Or can the Lionesses hold on to this lead or even get a few more goals? Second half coming up next.
That defines seasons for the very best. These are special European days, aren't they? It's all to play for. Bring it on.
The FA Cup has still got a supply to two up its sleeve. Contrasinia heading to Wembley. That's unbelievable. A comeback of monumental proportions.
The most famous horse race of them all.
Lucinda Russell, Derek Fox, and again Scotland take the national with Cora Rambler.
England now begin preparations for the next target, winning the Euros again. Beth Mead, one of England's best finishers, showing why.
loads of great sport coming up on ITV. England play their second game in the qualifiers against the Republic of Ireland in Dublin, and that's next Tuesday. So you can come and join us 7 o'clock on ITV1. And the Grand National Festival starts next Thursday. That's at 2 p.m. on ITV1, leading up to the big race on Saturday. Now, tomorrow night, Serie A comes to ITVX. Our first game is between Empoli and Torino, and that's at 7:35 p.m. We'll also be showing a game every Saturday until the end of the season. Lucky you. Okay, another score to keep you updated with. This was a slightly later kickoff, 8:10 between France and the Republic of Ireland in our group. France are 1-0 up. We'll let you know what the score is at the end of our game. While we're waiting for the teams to come out here at Wembley, another really lovely moment to show you. A big congratulations to England Women's World Deaf Team. So they were the World Deaf Champions. They came bronze. So they picked up a bronze medal in the World Championships. This was in Brazil last year. They were being interviewed on the pitch a minute ago. So basically the fans here get to see this team celebrate that bronze at Wembley, and a home crowd gets to celebrate with them. So congratulations to them. They were getting a little round of applause a minute ago, and you'll get another round of applause in just a second's time as the Lionesses come back out for the second half here at Wembley Stadium against Sweden, where at the moment they are 1-0 up. Can they hold on to this lead? Alongside me, Karen, Ian Wright. Anything you want to add before the second half?
No, I'd just like to see us just take the sloppiness out of the play a little bit quicker, just, you know, and just really just take some chances, just get ruthless with it.
Okay, here we go. Second half, Seb Hutchinson and Eni Aluko on comms for you.
Well, both sets of players back out for the second half. No changes at half-time. And England showing some interesting tactical elements in that first half. And Eni, talking about it at half-time as well, a lot of talk about the way Keira Walsh plays for England, a lot of teams targeting Keira Walsh, but England using that to their advantage.
Exactly. I think England tactically now are very cleverly using Keira Walsh almost as a decoy when England are building up. When Keira Walsh attracts opposition, then other midfielders get the space to drop down. And I think England did that really, really well in the first half.
So repeat, neither side making changes at half-time. Sweden showed that they can continue to cause England issues. England also showing their qualities in that first half. Although would have wanted to, of course, test Jennifer Falk in that Sweden goal. Godal. Chunty. Godal. It's a mark of how far England have actually come in recent years. The fact that they will be favourites for this home match against Sweden. That may not have been the case in the recent past.
Yeah, and I think historically against Sweden, we haven't always succeeded, right? I think it's 16 wins to 4, you know, in history. I know whenever I played Sweden, there was a fear factor of them. But that's certainly changed in recent years.
It's the most successful England side of all time. It's going on under Serena Wiegman. To her management, looking to add to the Euros crown. Here's Walsh.
I think you'd be surprised to hear that, well, I certainly was surprised that the only major tournament Sweden have won is back in 1984. Given how close they've come over the years, they'll want to improve that. Particularly this new generation of Swedish players, likes of Caroline Seger, who I played again, are just retiring, but this new generation, they won't want to be seen as a nearly team that just always gets to semi-finals.
The nearly side of world football for so long, Sweden. So consistent in getting so close as well. Sembrant. Angeldal picks it up in space. And Anderson with room to send that ball in again. England quite stretched there.
Yeah, Lucy Bronze, I think, tucked a bit too far in, which gave Anderson the space. She didn't make the most of that space.
Watching on Leah Williamson. Will she get any minutes tonight? Serena Vegan speaking so highly about her. Hasn't played for England for a year. Pretty much to the day.
I think both players knew the cameras were on them then. Gave a good old nod to the camera.
Frank Kirby sat next to Leah Williamson. Another member of that Euros winning side. And that is, I guess, the advantage of the next European Championships coming so quickly, is that England have still so many of those players involved who know what it's like to win. Goudal. Aslani. Aslani allowed to keep coming forward here. Play that ball in towards Blackstenius. Was tightly marked. That was awkward for Greenwood. And then James with a touch just to take England out of trouble, but they've given it away through Charles. Lundqvist sending it in. Blackstenius trying to bring it down. And then Rolfer couldn't really make clean contact with it.
Obviously, Aslani's got a lot of space there. I think Lauren James can recover a little bit better defensively there. Can't be jogging when the opposition 10 is running at the box. Can you back tackle? Big part of Lauren James's job on the wing to also defend.
Yes, they've got Lauren James back on the left again with Hemp on the right. It's Greenwood. And Charles into James. It's all very tight for Lauren James there, but got away from the challenge. Now Charles and Goudal can't dispossess her. Clinton, a nudge on her. Ritting Conrad, but Clinton did well, couldn't quite get the pass out to him. Following up his bronze. But Anderson is free on the left here, but Rolfer decides to go to the right. Ritting Conrad. Blackstenius. Strong striker holding off Greenwood. Anderson. Loads of time here. To Rolfer. And Rolfer can't make the challenge in that sort of area, but he did work well there, Stanway and Hemp.
You talk about wingers defending there. That was good from Lauren Hemp. Where Lucy Bronze is out of position, she's got to drop in, stop the threat from Anderson on the left. I think Lucy Bronze as well, if she goes into the midfield or goes higher, she has to win those tackles, because if she doesn't, a team are subject to a counter-attack.
Keep you up to date with the scoreline from the other game in this group. It's currently half-time between France and Ireland, 1-0 to the French. Risque Oro, talented midfielder, the only goal in that game. 1-0 here to England. Charles. Just one shot on goal on target in this match for either side. That was the goal. And Ritting Conrad. Need to get that ball back again. Strong runner of the ball. To a second season with Chelsea.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Ritting Conrad at Chelsea. She's grown into the club. Influential, certainly in midfield and out wide.
Lundqvist into Blackstenius. Stays with Rolfer in the middle. Any challenge for Bermoy. She's done pretty well against Blackstenius so far. Knows her runs, of course.
Yeah, Bermoy, she's had to be patient getting a chance at England. when she's got it. We saw in the friendlies and last month she scored, played well, keeps her spot in the team, and so far so good, defended well.
Corner kick here to Sweden, their 4th of the game. And Anderson concentrating on a good delivery, but Eriksson and Rolfer at the back post. Anderson make it awkward with her delivery. She swings it in. That's not a bad ball at all. It's not coming for it. And that is ambitious to say the least from Johanna Rytting-Kaneryd, who was bought from the club Häcken in Sweden, who are one of the biggest clubs in that country. The Swedish league, once upon a time, was arguably the strongest in Europe.
Yeah, with the likes of Marta, top players playing in Sweden. It's changed a little bit now, but it still is a strong league, along with the league in England and France and Germany and Spain. And obviously produces great players as well, many of which are playing in the English league now.
Sara and Anita Asante as well. Time in Sweden.
I could have gone to Sweden, Seb, but didn't fancy the cold.
So you stayed in England?
I stayed in England, yeah.
Rytting-Kaneryd. Good position here. Angeldal. That's Kira Walsh can bring it away, but can England get away? Found themselves in these sort of situations a few times in the first half. Sweden able to pin them back a bit. There's nothing subtle about Sweden's play, though. Stanway back to Hemp. And Hemp urged forward by the Wembley crowd. Hemp almost sliding that through. We've seen that sort of movement from Russo before.
Great movement and great attempt there from Hemp. Little reverse pass.
And look at Rytting-Kaneryd go again. Has impressed, has caught the eye tonight, but just ran into one too many England players. Clinton. 60,000 in attendance tonight at Wembley. There's Russo, and the flag's up.
It's unlucky from Russo. Brilliant run. To see here the timing, brilliant from Alex Greenwood. It's very close, that call. Looks onside to me, but obviously the lineswoman has called it off. But that's the timing you need from Alessia Russo in behind.
Feels a little like Bronze and Rolfer have cancelled each other out on that side.
But I think we just got to be aware of Jonna Andersson as well. She's looking to exploit that space that Lucy Bronze is leaving.
It's probably the principal target for any opposition that England are facing, that space behind Lucy Bronze. She does offer so much going the other way for England. Stanway not happy with the close attention. But the first change of the match, and off goes Grace Clinton. An admirable display from the young midfielder, who showed what she can offer to this England side. And look at the right smile as well. She's enjoyed it, and she'll most likely be playing with Ella Toone next season when she returns to Manchester United.
Really, really impressive performance for Grace Clinton. She's just building on her performances from the last month in the friendlies. And I think what's important for these young players is to build trust for Serena Wiegmann to keep picking them and giving them the opportunity.
Ella Toone on, and she loves Wembley. Hemp! Oh, that might float all the way in. And instead it's pushed behind, or put behind by Lundqvist.
Brilliant wing play from Lauren Hemp. This is exactly where she wants to be, 1v1. I actually think Lauren James has got to anticipate that better there. Trust that Lauren Hemp is going to put an inviting ball in and be inside of Lundqvist there.
Hemp running across to take this corner. She goes short to Laura James, who pretends she's not interested in the corner. It's all part of the ploy. Here is James. And James. And Nick goes wide for a corner. Even from that sort of position, Lauren James can be dangerous, just receiving from a short corner. So Greenwood. Moy waiting, Russo in there as well. Bronze to go up and win the header. Falk will claim. Chira Musovic of Chelsea on the bench for Sweden tonight. Reserve goalkeeper for this particular match and was Chelsea's reserve goalkeeper in the League Cup final as well.
Yeah, Sweden have always had brilliant competition with their goalkeepers. I played with one of the best, Hedvig Lindvall. Super goalkeeper. Such a presence, a legend of Swedish football.
She was the goalkeeper when England beat Sweden, though, in that last meeting. Angeldal. Tinkarna had taken off her toes by Greenwood. A very timely challenge when she was running at full pelt. There is Musovic on the left. Emma Kohlberg of Brighton on the right. Greenwood, for a goal kicker, defends it very well indeed. To think back in 2015 she was the youngest member of that England side. And Greenwood not happy. She was sure that should have been a goal kick. Said it's going to be a corner for Sweden.
Just got to watch out here on the edge. There's a lot of space on the edge for Sweden here.
England are very deep. Filling that 6-yard box. If they play it to the edge here, Sweden, they've got a chance, but they do send it in there. Earps pushes it. England stretched again. Big block from Hemp. Several Swedish players convinced that was handball. Instead, Lauren James, too, won't reach that because Tinkarna is back there.
Absolutely brilliant defending from Lauren Hemp. But that's what happens when you leave too much space on the edge. The second ball, Sweden pick it up. Hemp stops the shot.
Interestingly enough, Lauren Hemp, so a penalty given against her. And England played the United States, but it was then overturned with VAR. It hit her backside. Greenwood. And Stanway won't quite reach that. Greenwood's so good at those sort of passes. What about that penalty shout?
No, it's hit her shoulder. I think VAR would have said that too.
Yes. For Moy, again covering well against Blackstenius. Well, no saves for Mary Earps to make so far, despite the pressure applied by Sweden. 5 efforts on goal, none on target. England 1 effort on goal. Here's Greenwood. Charles. Russo. Able to feed her enough besides the goal. So, double change here. And of particular interest is the number 14 for Sweden. Rosa Kavaji, who's about to come on. First of all, Amanda Nilden, who's on loan at Tottenham at the moment, a defender. But Rosa Kavaji, who is, I might say, we like using that phrase, a young talent who plays for Hacken. Maybe I was going to say the Air Taslani, but she shared a picture of her. Only going off. Kavaji only 20 years of age. James almost getting that ball through. England want a free kick. It's not going to be given, but Lucy Bronze battling to win it back. James! Well, I was going to say weaker foot, but I'm not sure she has one.
I don't think she has. We've seen Lauren James score on the left and the right. I think she's just leaning back slightly. Just lifts it. But again, dangerous position for Lauren James to take up. We've seen her on the left, right, and in that 10 pocket in the game.
Tin Conrad. Well, Beth Mead about to join the action. Another player has fond memories of Wembley. A woman to score a hat-trick at this ground. And another player who's returned recently after a long time out with injury. We even need that. Another of those sparks. Kavachi. Oh, that's a clever ball to the back post. And Rolfö, one of Sweden's stars, strikes to level things up. And it was the youngster making the immediate impact for Sweden off the bench as well. And they have looked dangerous in this game, and they get their reward.
That lapse in concentration from England. It's coming from a Sweden throw. They allow Blackstenius to get it into her feet. Kavachi, back post, Lucy Bronze scrambling, doesn't open up. And then Rolfö finishes it very similar to how Russo did in the first half. But that's what a lapse of concentration in this difficult group, we've talked about it, can do.
And Rosa Kavachi, not long after she came off the bench, with the moment to carve open the England defence, and Rolfö to finish it off. 29th goal for Sweden.
It's those tiny details, Seb. From a throw, you've always got to be open body defenders. Got to stop that ball into Blackstenius, who's a hold-up player. Can you screen her? All these details are important in these big games.
James. That's going to go behind for a goal kick in the end. It's good to point out that similarities between the two goals. England's young talent, Lauren James, creating one for Russo. And here's a Kavachi, and she must have been on the pitch had a minute or so. No problem here for Eriksson. Only 20 years of age. She broke her leg on debut for her club Häcken, which delayed her real explosion on the scene. And she's shown what she can do in the Champions League, and she's showing what she can do for her country now. It's always nice when you give the player a big build-up and then they...
They prove you right.
Prove you right. A game of not many chances on goal. That was Sweden's first effort on goal, but you also can't say they don't deserve to be level. Hasn't been too much between these two sides. And in this format, winning your home games could prove very important. Something away from home as well. Blackstenius has the pace to run away from the England defence, but she can't put the chance away. Big opportunity for Sweden. Let off for England.
Massive let off, Seb. Again there, just to hit an out ball. You see the pace here from Blackstenius against her teammate, Lotte Ruben-Moy. She just drags it. Opens up the space to shoot and just drags it. Massive let off for England.
Well, you can hear that huge roar. It's not because of the missed chance for Stina Blackstenius, it's because Beth Mead is on the pitch for England at Wembley. Lauren James making way. England having to respond. Here's Stanway. Toon. And now Mead. Fast attack. Bronze. It's a long time to play in this particular match, but it is the sort of match it's difficult to pick a winner. Angeldal. This is what this format was designed to throw up.
And Sweden started very much the same way they started the first half, bright.
He's smiling now. Spent most of the first half, P.T. Gerhardsen, looking thoroughly irritated, but he'll be a lot happier with this scoreline. He knows his side have the ability to beat England at Wembley, that's for sure. Serena Wiegmann not too happy. Couldn't really need much from the recent friendly matches that England won very comfortably indeed. It's a completely different circumstance.
I suppose you can say the same for Sweden as well. 10 goals in the last 2 games against Bosnia and Herzegovina. But they're in goal-scoring form. They can score goals.
Even though we say on the nearly side of world football, they get to those sort of positions because they've always been tough opponents. Semi-final specialists. But England themselves are on a run of historic semi-finals before they won the Euros. Johnson. Sandberg. England have had more of the ball in the match as a whole as far as possession is concerned. But this second half, Sweden have come out. They mean business. Ziljotti looking for Tinkarin.
The midfield shape has gone slightly since Grace Clinton has gone off. Georgia Stanway there allows too much space. That leads to a direct ball in behind for Sweden. Got to try and get back to that shape that was so good in the first half, England. That midfield shape.
Angeldal. Sweden's changes working out. Ziljotti sending it in, away by Bronze, but not too far. And then to Rolfer. Eriksson. Den won't quite get there in the end, goes behind for a goal kick. Amanda Nilden, one of those substitutes who's come on loan from Juventus. So previously had a brief spell at Brighton. Slotted into that back four on the left. In their last game against Bosnia, which was a Nations League playoff to make sure you don't get relegated. Sweden finished third in their Nations League group. Negotiated that particular challenge with ease in the end. 5 goals in each leg. They play 3 at the back in that game. Here's Angeldal. In the driving force in that Sweden midfield tonight, and has looked a strong runner as well with the ball. But England can't really work their way up the pitch. Afaji. Toon. So deep Toon is having to come. Mead. Need to play those sort of passes to try and get out. Toon now.
It's well played from England. They've played out of pressure well there for Sweden. They've really tried to set a trap and block England in on that right-hand side, and have just played their way out.
To be at their best there, England. Walsh under pressure from Rolfer. Just to get the pass away to Stanway. Mead. See how popular a player Beth Mead is. And that is a terrific ball to the back post. Hemp stretching.
Great ball from winger to winger. Just doesn't quite find the time in there to catch it. Lauren Hemp.
Often likes to get on the end of crosses. Beth Mead, 4 goals for Arsenal in the WSL this season. And another of the Euros heroes about to come on, Chloe Kelly.
Euros hero has a nice ring to it.
There's a few of them.
They all are Euros heroes, I guess.
Sliding in. England going again. Russo. In need of some drive at the moment. Mead. Sliding it through. Toon. Had a chance to shoot there. Went for the pullback instead. That's not cleared very far. Russo. Deflected and Falk will claim.
Good running behind from Ella Toon. Looks like she's caught in 2 minds. Probably doesn't trust the angle there to shoot and then puts it back, which I think Lauren Hemp probably could have anticipated that better.
Now, Bronze coming forward to try and win that. Kavaji chasing after that ball. Well, Chloe Kelly is about to come on for England, but before then, Helen Rubinson. Who's at Houston Dash now? The midfielder who did previously play for Sweden at right back. Angeldal going off, but she has impressed tonight, forcing that midfield. Through a lot of work, the Manchester City midfielder. She has gone off. Philippa Angeldal. Rubinson. One of those who played at the World Cup as well. Stanway and Toon. Help it on cleanly to Hemp. Here is Hemp running into trouble. And the link-up play here from Sweden, it was sharp. Hadji involved again. Tinkamri moving it on. Blackstenius walked into trouble. And Ruben losing it to Blackstenius.
Clever defending from Ruben Moy there. Again, that knowledge of your teammate at Arsenal. She shows her inside, knows that the England bodies are inside. And the threat of Blackstenius is nullified. Good defending from Ruben Moy.
Still only 1-0 to France against Ireland. Midway through the second half in Metz. And other games involving the home nations. Serbia 0, Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 0, Malta 0, and Wales 4, Croatia 0. All 3 of those countries not in groups that they can qualify directly to the Euros, but they could through playoffs. Rolfer won't get to that. Charles, can she break forward, sliding in. Lundqvist does extremely well. Rolfer. At the moment, Sweden could get the ball to Hadji, who's had some nice touches so far. Chloe Kelly to come on. Interesting to see who comes off here. That's loose from Ruben Moy, but latch onto it cleanly.
It's likely to be Hemp, like for like switch.
Jess Carter as well. Now this will be interesting. See who Jess Carter comes on for. wonder if Serena Wiegmann spotted the real growing influence of Blackstenius in that front line. Moy can't win it. Kafaji still has it, causing problems again. Ritting Kanrid couldn't quite get round the cover. We've got some dangerous players out there at the moment, Sweden. And England respond again. And it's Alessia Russo to go off. Schütz may see Hemko in the middle, but it could be Mead as well. Fluid front line for England.
One of the strengths of England is that Hemp can play in that number 9 role. Again, maybe Sweden would not have expected that switch. And all of a sudden you have different threats now on the back line for Sweden.
I just wonder if Carter will go to centre-back eventually, but just in the build-up for this particular move, Greenwood will remain at centre-half. We'll see. Stands though Carter out on the left. Mead. Carter. Mead. Toon to go round the referee, but slid it in nicely for him. Not a bad move from England. Bronze won't quite get there. And now look at Ritting Kanrid go. And tidy feet as well. She'll want that back. Now can Bronze get there before her? She can. Ritting Kanrid really impressed tonight for Sweden.
Yes, particularly she started the second half really strong. Good link up with Blackstenius. But Lucy Bronze's pace, I think, outdoes her there.
Stanway has just checked. Kelly. Walsh. Will Kelly get to this first? Not quite. Eriksson across. And then it truly feels like a game that could go either way in this closing stages.
Sweden look far more confident going forward.
Again, England will be disappointed they haven't tested Hulk enough in that Sweden goal. Faji helping it on. Over Moy. Stanway. Good ball into Toon. Toon can't get it back to Stanway. I think also it's reflected by the atmosphere in the stadium as well. They recognise England are really in a game here. And boot off for Blackstenius in the ongoing battle with Ubermoy. They both had their moments.
It's been brilliant to watch this battle. Moy tries to get in front of her there and just commits the foul.
She's been in so many of Serena Wiegmann's squads, not of Moy, but has been down the pecking order, of course, with Williamson and Bright, and they've been fit, and Carter as well, and Greenwood starting tonight. This opening game of European qualification. What a test it's been. Walsh, moment, points are being shared. Rubinson. Alpha. More time on the right since she scored. Alpha. Maybe this is another reason why Carter's come on here.
I always think in these parts of the game, towards the end of the game, this is where Sweden's physicality historically has always come out. Can England cope with that? Their fitness levels, the physicality, the concentration it needs to deal with that.
Added to that physicality, some guile as well. The bench. Hemp. From having to work so hard just to keep the ball in this second half. Toon closing down Fulton. Putting the pressure on, that was good. Pressing from Toon, England need this. That sort of response. This is her stadium, really, Ella, too. Some really important goals. against the Netherlands. The big goal in Finalissima, and of course, in the Euros final. Walsh didn't get that right, but nor was that clearance. Here's Mead. And Mead sending it in, but it's going to go behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Lauren Hemp has made the sort of front post run there rather than peeling off at the back post. Weren't quite in sync there, Mead and Hemp.
Well, at the moment, it's France 1, Ireland 0. And Ireland, England's next opponents at the Aviva Stadium on Tuesday. ITV1 for that one from 7 p.m. And also, every weekend till the end of the season, live Sierra action starting tomorrow with Empoli against Torino. Every game on ITVX. Every Saturday evening to the end of the campaign. Blackstenius. Out to Rolfer. Kafaji on the move. Couldn't get it past Carter. Stanway. Sweden have played so well, particularly in this second half. They felt the pressure, but also England know they want to try and push on to win this themselves. So, I think for an interesting last 10 minutes. Carter. Double change coming up for Sweden shortly. Greenwood forward.
I think how close this game is an indication of how close this group is going to be. As I said, 3 top 6 teams in the world. So whatever happens, even though the top 2 go through, there's going to be some sort of upset in this group. England have to try and make sure that they're winning as much as they can.
Stanway out to Kelly. Kelly, decent ball in, not that far away from him. Stanway, Kelly wants it wide once more. Kelly again, towards the back post. Kept in by Mead. Hemp and Toon and Bronze, waiting for that ball to come in again. Carter, Walsh, Toon. Carter, Lucy Bronze still in that penalty area. Toon to play it in. Awkward for the Sweden defence that time. Kafaji doesn't have that sort of time on the edge of her own box. It's very calm there.
It's a rushed ball from Ella Toon. Given the targets in the box like Lucy Bronze, she's rushed it.
Well, Rolfer up with that goal. And at the moment is earning Sweden a point. Makes way. And Blackstenius as well, who had a good second half. And coming on, Madeline Yonogi. Fiorentina into that front line. Anna Anvegar, who was once at Everton.
Blackstenius is probably going to rue that miss that she had. I've been there. And you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper, your eyes light up and you just drag it wide of the post. She might lose a bit of sleep about that tonight.
Yes, of course, Sweden win. Still time to do, but England on the ball with Stanway. Or are you suggesting that even if Sweden win, she'll be using sleep as a striker?
I think so. That's how forwards think.
She had that winning moment for Arsenal, last time out in her club career. Winning goal in the League Cup against Chelsea. Teammate of Aubameyang. Toon. Kelly. Kelly across. Stanway. The best pass to Kelly, but she made something of it. And towards Mead. Break to Carter. Even though it's felt like Sweden have had more of the ball in this second half. And a lot of involvement for Ella Toon since she's come on. Bronze. Bronze to push it through. Toon couldn't lay it off. Stanway. Inogi on the back there of Kelly. It's a play to emergency for England here. Stanway hangs it towards Mead. Greenwood. Mead. Inside, Walsh, terrific pass, Hemp, and Hemp with another go. And off the line, double chance. It was Eriksson covering for Sweden to keep it out.
Brilliant weight of pass from Kira Walsh, brilliant run from Hemp. But it's a great save from Falk. She comes out quickly, anticipates the running behind. Magdalena Eriksson in the right place.
In goes the England corner. Falk comes, pushes it away. Just about. Toon. Plenty forward here for England. The cross comes in, and it was Mead striking it. And pushed behind, another corner.
It's good from England, the pressure's building. Last 5 minutes. Beth Mead does really well to keep that down there, because there's always a temptation to try and rush it and catch the height of the ball.
England pushing for a late winner. Mead. Bad delivery at all. Last time England were at Wembley, they won the game late against the Netherlands. Kelly. Usually been strong finishes in matches under Serena Wiegman. That's lost by Kelly. Nilden. It's going to be easy enough for Carter. Evenegaard didn't fancy the chase with Carter there. 90th minute. How much added time will we get in this game?
Both sides have had their chances to win it. Seb.
Still can win it. Toon, Walsh and Stanway in for the pass across. Kelly. That's going to spin up. Oh, and miscommunication between defender and goalkeeper. Kelly. Bronze. This is Yanogi. Robinson away. Substitutes for England have added real urgency here in the second half, but will it be enough? And Eriksson using all her know-how.
I love how Magda celebrates defending. Proper defender.
6 years she spent at Chelsea. What Bayern, captain at Chelsea as well. One of the most popular figures at the club. Well, he has been animated on that touchline with the mentality of bringing his side here to beat England at Wembley, no doubt about that. Hemp helping it on to Kelly. Into the 3 minutes to be added on. Bronze. Nilden. Nogi. That will be an England throw. And one final push here, one final chance to take the 3 points. Hemp. Greenwood. Carter. Mead. Swings it in, Falk will claim. Safe hands. And that may be that. Quick look at the watch from Serena Wiegman, who will be frustrated, I suppose. Winning the home games in this sort of format will prove crucial, but just don't lose.
That's it, Seb. Don't lose. And as I said, England could be 2-1 down in this game, given the big chance of Blackstenius.
He couldn't quite take that in a stride. Sweden 1 attempt on goal in this match. England 3 attempts. on goal. 2 of those coming actually in the last 10 minutes. Here's Greenwood. Off by Mead. Walsh. Toon. Stanway. Bronze. This may be the last attack. Kelly. Kelly. Dangerous. Eriksson in the way. And that shot's blocked. Bronze. Kelly. And cleared away Rubenson. Bronze going up, and that's going to be a Sweden throw-in.
I love the fact that England, even with maybe less than a minute to go, they're still going for it.
A point apiece at Wembley, and Sweden proving they are powerful opponents in a pretty powerful-looking qualification group. Alessia Russo with the opening goal in the first half, but that was cancelled out in the second half by Fridolina Rolfö for Sweden. Blackstenius had a fabulous opportunity to win it for Sweden as well that she couldn't take. On another night, they may have won as well. I suppose what's most important in your opening game of qualification is to make sure you don't lose. That's probably how both managers will feel at the end of this. But we will find all that out after the break. But full time at Wembley, England won, Sweden won.
Well, the Lionesses kick off their 2025 Euros qualifying campaign with a draw and a point at Wembley. And they might walk away feeling fairly lucky. They did survive a slight onslaught from Sweden at one point, and a real big chance that Sweden will look back on and be rather disappointed they didn't take all 3 tonight. Alongside me, Ian Wright and Karen Carney. Listen, it was an interesting second half because there were some big chances for Sweden. They managed to get an equaliser, Karen. This one came through Rolfö.
Yeah, I mean, I thought England's second half didn't really come out concentrating. I thought Sweden were better. The throw-in straight away, you shouldn't be able to get that into the feet of Stina Blackstenius. It's a great dink ball in and Rolfö around the back post, but switching on, that shouldn't happen. The cross comes in too easy. Lucy Bronze wasn't concentrating at the back post, and Rolfö simply isn't going to miss from there. But the concentration, maybe the awareness to switch on. There was a couple of warning signs which we'll go into, but it's a brilliant header. And I thought Sweden were the better team in the second half of this match.
Yeah, they got some impetus. We gave it to them because I think the way we played, I thought we were very poor today, especially through the midfield. I thought we were very sloppy today, and we're very fortunate in the end we didn't lose that game.
Yeah. Luckily, we went 1-0 up in the first half, and it was courtesy of Alessia Russo. Let's get her thoughts. She's with Katie Shanahan now.
Alessia, a difficult start to the Euro qualifying campaign.
Yeah, exactly that. They're a top side and our group is so tough, but we're a good side too. So I think, yeah, it was disappointing not to take all 3 points, but we've come up against a really strong Sweden side. We'll reflect and learn, and we've got to get ready to go again on Tuesday.
What quality was missing tonight?
I think to our standards, we know that there's a little bit all over the pitch that we can demand higher of each other from. I think us as players will own that and we'll look back at it. And yeah, I think all across the board there was just a little lower standards than we're used to.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I mean, they pressed us really well, so it's tough. It's not like it's an easy game. But yeah, they're a top side and we struggled at times to figure out their problems, but at the same time, we still got a draw.
One positive is that you opened the scoring with a great header after a good team move. That was your first goal at Wembley as well, I believe.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it's always nice to score at Wembley as well, the home of English football. I love playing for England, I love playing here, so really nice to get on the score sheet.
Dublin next, how important is that going to be to get a win, particularly in a tough group like this?
Yeah, it's massive. We know this group's really tough and we know that every result counts and every point counts. So we'll get rested, do lots of recovery in the next few days and then we'll be ready to go.
Just checking, you had to have treatment in the first half, all okay?
Yeah, I just got a little cut on my leg, but I'll be fine.
Thanks so much, Alessia.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Thank you.
Well,
cheers.
OK, let's remind ourselves of that goal then, this one in the first half, Ian, with her combining with Lauren James.
Yeah, great play, great hold-up play from her in the first place, and then obviously it's the skill and the ball from Lauren James which makes it, and she's just got to be in there, and that's where you want your centre forward, right in the middle of the 6-yard box to go in and tap those in, because it's a great ball played into an area that the centre forward's meant to be in, and she was.
Karen, you picked up on the fact that the two Laurens switched sides and it seemed to do the trick against the Sweden defence that have figured that out.
Yeah, I think sometimes when we have different wingers, it causes the fullback a problem. And I think Lauren James in that instance just kind of dropped her shoulder and got the cross in, whereas I think Kemp was trying to push and race her. But going back to Russo, I thought we took her off too early. I thought she was our best player in terms of linking the play, holding it up. And I thought when we went off, we lost the focal point and we lost our rhythm without her.
Stina Blacksinius, who just scored the winning goal in the Conti Cup final for Arsenal, she came so close in.
Well, it's the kind of chance that Arsenal fans will see Stina that you'd hope that she'd take. She absolutely scorches Lotto there, which she knows we knew what could happen, and that's just a poor finish. You know, she has to lift this. She's in, she's taking it well, the touch there. Now you just got to lift that over the leg, not try and get it past the leg, because if you try and get it past the leg, you're going to miss the post. You lift it over that leg and it goes into the inside of the side netting, and it's a poor finish, but I know that she's capable of that, even though she does score some big goals for Arsenal.
OK, more analysis from these two after this very quick break. We'll look at the two goals again, and we'll find out just how close England came to losing this game. But this was a really important goal from Alicia Russo in the first half, before Sweden managed to get back into it and equalise by a Fridolina Rolfo. A point for each team in these Euros qualifiers. Let's have a little look at the Women's Euro 2025 qualifiers table at the moment, the one that England are in. They sit third at the moment, just behind Sweden. They're on the same number of points. France go top because they beat the Republic of Ireland 1-0. That game is pretty much wrapped up, maybe in the dying seconds of that. A reminder as well, the top two qualify automatically in the group. Third and fourth go into the playoffs. And the next match that our group has to look forward to, Sweden against France next Tuesday, and the Republic of Ireland. We go to Dublin. That's where the Lionesses will play their next game, live from the Aviva Stadium, 7 p.m. on ITV1 for that one. Do come and join us. OK, a little bit more to tell you about. Don't forget, ITVX has its first Serie A live match between Empoli and Torino at 7:35 p.m. Join us for that one. In the meantime, here at Wembley, not the start Serena Wiegmann would have hoped for. Does it feel like an opportunity missed for the champions at home at Wembley to kickstart their Euros campaign and really put a marker down? Let's hear from her now and see what she made of that game. She's speaking with Katie Shanahan.
Serena, a frustrating draw. What's your assessment of that game?
Yeah, obviously it was a tough game against a very good opponent. We knew that before the game. I think we, of course, we want to have the ball a lot. How they pressed, we struggled a little bit, so we went too much inside, short, especially the first half, short options we chose. I think we could have done better in decision-making on the ball, but we found it hard to find the spaces, and we wanted to go around later on. But they defended really well too, and I think out of possession they did well too. So we were struggling at moments to get the press, the high press, which we want so good. But that also had to do with the qualities they showed with rotations, with inside wingers, and some dynamics at midfield. What we had to do, I think. The goal we conceded was really unnecessary, so we gave away throw-in, was a little bit unnecessary. Then we didn't press enough, and they had a good cross, and of course they finished that one.
Do you think that was down to a lapse in concentration?
Well, I don't know. I just see what happens on the pitch, and I think we were able in that moment to have the press on the ball and take out the cross. And yeah, that's, you know, sometimes those things happen, and we want to prevent that, of course. The moment after, we were lucky because we weren't good in a long ball, so those things we really need to do better. I think at the end of the game, we were really pressing, trying to score a goal, and we were really close, and that's exactly how close this game was, I think.
For Alessia Russo's goal, it was a good team move. How about that pass from Lauren James?
Yeah, I think that there was a moment right before that we already had an opportunity, and we kept the ball well. So we switched play too, and with that cross, I think the position of Alessia was really good too. So she stayed away, far away, at the back shoulder of the right centre back. So the cross and the preparation, the cross and the finish was just really good.
Okay, Ian, they talk about lapses in concentration.
Yeah.
Did you think that at times England were a bit sloppy?
Yeah, I felt that we do need to get into the mode of how we mean to go on, and we need to be sharp right from the start. I think that this was in the first half, and it was a really tough ball she was trying to do there. With the press that Sweden put on us, that is exactly what they wanted to do. They don't need us giving the ball away to them. They've done the high press and we was doing it anyway. Again, I think this is a poor throw again. This is the margins we're talking about. It's taken 3 bounces before it's got to Alex James, and we give away a corner in that instant. Again, this one with Georgia Stanway trying to pass it through here, it's not on. You know, these are the times we've got to be patient. We've got to be really professional in those moments. That's a poor pass. She hasn't got many options, and we lose the ball again. And it's just, again, we were very fortunate in the end that Stina Blackstenius misses that chance, because we could have easily lost this game.
Karen, what did you make of the interview?
I thought that's the most I've heard Sarina Wiegman talk about the tactical side of the games that they didn't execute well tonight. I don't think I've really heard that from her in any interview that we've ever done, even World Cup finals and stuff like that. So I think she'll have a lot to analyse, and she's obviously not happy with that. And we saw from the clips that Wrighty just mentioned there is stuff to work on, and especially we need to win against the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, and how tough is that game going to be in Dublin?
Well, it's always tough to play against one of the home nations. So, you know, it's one that we now probably have to go in to look to try and win. Ireland will make it very, very tough for us. But it's, again, like, you don't win games like this. You don't have the opportunity to slip up in those games. So they have to go there, for me, and win that game.
Are those matches always a little bit more grudgy than the other ones?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. They won't want to lose.
Yeah.
And we won't want to. I know it is cliche, but it is a rivalry no matter what. And I didn't want to play in those games. I knew that. But like Wrighty says, this is a must-win game for us. I do think this is the group of death. I think this is really, really tricky, and we are European champions reigning, and we need 3 points when we play them at the Republic of Ireland on Tuesday. So it's a massive game. The performance needs to improve, but the most important thing is that result. We need 3 points.
You said it before as well, Wrighty. They've got a target on their back, so they're champions, they're reigning champions. They've got to be better. Yeah,
we do have to be better. I thought the midfield was poor today, unfortunately for us. I thought, like you said, with Leslie coming off, I didn't think we had a good link, and we started putting balls into the box for Lauren Hemp and Beth Mead, and it wasn't to our strength. I thought we kind of lost it, and in the end, I think we got to be pleased to take the point, I think.
All right, guys, thank you very much for your company. You've been brilliant. A couple more things to tell you about. The Tour Championship continues tomorrow. Mark Williams against Mark Allen, 12:45, ITV4 and ITVX. And there is just a week to go before the Grand National. And tomorrow we have racing from Kempton, Chelmsford and the Curragh at 1:30 on ITV1. Opening show you can catch as well, 9:30 ITV4. And then we have one regular roundup of the EFL highlight show to look forward to as well. Okay, so the Lionesses pick up a point in their first game of the Euros 2025 qualifying campaign. We will see you in Dublin for the next test.